done pretty well here, and we have this really, really good relationship where I trust him with anything I do.
Whatever it is, we'll take it. If it's good, we'll take it. If it's bad, we'll take it. Whatever. Okay? Let's go, baby. Come on.
To be able to put match after match after match at good level and put myself in a position to win the tournament.
That's it. Jay Friend, Arizona senior, is your 2025 ITA All-American champion here in Tulsa.
I didn't have very high.
Good morning, everyone. And again, just on the far East Coast, good afternoon by a minute. Coach Mark Bey here. Super excited to take a look at the women's semifinals 2025 ITA Conference Masters live at the Barnes Tennis Center in San Diego. We already have the 4 young ladies that are going to the NCAA Championships. They've earned their right to play in Lake Nona November 18th. So they've punched their ticket. This now is extra bragging rights, gravy, and quality matches that can help their rankings and positionings for other opportunities like the accelerator program, etc. So these young women now have already earned their opportunity. Most certainly are happy from last night, but now have to get hungry again today to battle for their schools for the opportunity to be a champion of this tournament that's only 2 years old. Very excited to bring the action. We have both of the matches going on simultaneously, so we will be bouncing back and forth. The top half of the draw, Osago Mert, big lefty crusher, huge serve, huge forehand, 5'10" from Turkey. The junior is taking on Ni Chi, who is an actual sophomore from Shanghai, China, from UNC Charlotte. Again, one of the great aspects of this tournament is that the different conferences allow for player nominations to get into the draw. So she was in this manner, and it's most certainly proven as the number 7 seed and quality respect on her name coming in that she is worthy of being in this semifinal match. Action here in the first game. Li Chi serving here. 30-0. And that's clean. Most certainly in a match like this, she will want to dictate and stay in control of the points. When players get on the wrong end of the Mert forehand, sometimes it's hard to get back to neutral. And I like it. I like the way she started, executing the first serves, jumping inside the court to strike with the first ball, looking to penetrate and be ahead in the point. That's a great first game from Chi. And moving over to our bottom half, Mao Mashika, who did a great job yesterday in her quarterfinal, winning 6-2, 6-4, having a little bit of challenge in the second set without holding serve, playing against Eugenia Zozaya. They call her Jeannie, freshman sensation from Spain. Tried to go for the high heavy there. That didn't work. Young women wearing slightly different outfits today that will help us with the dark versus the light color. As they take their changeover, we'll check in with Mert's first service game at 0-1. So far, I like what I'm seeing from the UNC Charlotte side of this match. Ni Chi handling the pace, absorbing the power. She's taking balls early. She's showing open stance. She's already showed a slice up the line. Very impressive beginning to this match. That's where having a big lefty serve comes in handy. Losing a few of the baseline exchanges, and now Mert just wanting to hold serve and get herself on the scoreboard here to start trying to problem solve an impressive start by her opponent. No, that's clean. That ball is coming like laser beams off of this racket. I've seen all the other women in this tournament in the semifinal round compete before, so this is my first time getting eyes on Nietzsche's game, and I'm impressed. Trying to get the ball over to the backhand there, but she was on the same side of the court, so just not enough room to work the Rafa lefty roll. There's not enough space there. Again, Mert, I think, is typically fairly loose and pre-programmed to what she likes to do, but I think that the respect of her opponent has her a little confused. And the 2 free points on the serve have really helped her get herself to a deciding point. And 3 free points on the serve gets Mert even, 1-all on the scoreboard. Let's check back in with our other semi. Again, Jeannie Dozaya Menendez broke to win the first game. Now Sheik up at the top of the screen. So Zaya in the black at the bottom of the screen. So Zaya serving up. Break here. That's a tough inside out for it. She loves that shot. Now that gets her to a 2-love lead on Mashika, who's typically a quick starter. The road to this match. Zaya beat Abby Nugent from Xavier in a match that we covered, 6-3, 6-0. Then she beat Marley Lambert of Denver, 6-4, 6-2. And then she was able to beat Marina Skegro 6-3, 6-1 to get to this semifinal opportunity. Now Mashika had a bye in the very first round, and then she beat Paula Corbalon. And after she beat Paula Corbalon, she was able to beat Alexia Harmon yesterday in the match that we covered. I'm not sure about is if the tournament happened to have 4 buys by virtue of just conference selections and the execution of it, or if they didn't have enough representation. I'm assuming that maybe with the symmetry of the draws, it was planned for it to be a 28 draw with the top 4 seeds having buys and only needed to make the semis. There's Mushika trying to sneak in like she loves to do, but Zozaya has the answer. As I was saying, if the top 4 seeds only have to win 2 matches versus 3 in a very tough field, that's a great advantage and critical to have. Yeah, see, she didn't do enough with that backhand volley. Critical to have a very good WTN college tennis, because now that is the #1 rating that is determining seedings, opportunities, and a lot of the ordering of and positioning of players in college tennis. Coming in today, Asagal Mert with an 11.89 UTR, and her opponent Ni Chi with a 14.83. And in this match, Mushika with a 13.09 and Zozaya with a 15.26. Again, Zozaya just being a freshman and only playing a little bit in college tennis, I see her number probably rising very quickly with some of these collegiate opportunities, especially here at this tournament and the NCAAs. So Mushika, a little befuddled at this point, trying to figure out, because she loves to come forward, but Zozaya has had some good passing shot answers early. Does she stay back longer? I definitely think that Mushika will want to approach through the Zozaya backhand, but the question is, under what circumstances and at what time, initially, or how to build the point to create that end. Mushika's moving out considerably wider. She does that. She cheats another step or two wider than a normal person might serve from in a singles position to have extra angle to start the point. And that error on the backhand gives Jeannie Zozaya quick 3-love lead. And while we were gone, Mert was able to make it 1-all when we left, and then she got a quick break here. This is great tennis. This is great tennis. I'm telling you. Really in for a treat here. Mert looking much more confident than the first game, unloading left and right. Ni Chi just holding the baseline and not giving up any ground and staying the course until she got a short ball opportunity and then just laced the forehand up the line. Mert up 2-1 a break here, but Ni Chi is making this a very competitive match off the ground. I like that from Mert. Cute little short chip to bring her in, because Ni Chi is definitely great side to side and super strong quality in her ground stroke. So putting that little experiment shot in early to get a read and a pulse on how she moves forward was a smart choice, and it worked to Mert's favor. Great tactics there. And that's really been a big part of this early stage in this match. I feel like Nietzsche has been just as good off the ground in a lot of the baseline points. But I think Mert has been able to get several free points on her serve, and that has got her nose out in front. Wow. Kidding me. Nietzsche is here for a fight. Great ball there and just running around, getting enough space. Mert couldn't get enough of that hook on that forehand. She loves to sweep the forehand from the right to the left of your screen and just didn't get enough on it. She was able to hook around and crack an inside in. Much more difficult shot. And there's the forehand that she likes. It's like if this was boxing, that cross-court forehand with the power and a little bit of angle that Mert keeps hitting there, it's like a body blow. It's like a jab in the ribs, a jab in the stomach. And just over time, how many of those can you take physically, having to roll out to the open backhand over and over and over again? Eventually, you start moving slower out of that corner and giving Mert more time to step up and dictate with her forehand. Very competitive match, but opportunity for Mert to be up 3-1 here in the first set. Great return. Good choice and just moving up and crunching that return early. And I think that the key for Nietzsche is how well she can take time away. Not allow Mert to play on her own terms. This is definitely a match about time. That is really good tennis. Takes a little bit of pace off the serve, jumps on offense with the forehand, cracks it to a big target, and quickly moves her feet very fast, getting over there and holds it, waits, makes her opponent commit, and then back behind for the winner. Awesome going. Mert is showing us why she is such a decorated player in that national championship Georgia lineup. And then Mert here up 3-1. 40 in singles. And again, that's playing number 4 singles for her team last year. That's how tough that Georgia lineup was. Number 4 in the nation in doubles, 31 wins in singles, all tournament team at the indoors, SEC and NCAA. So she is a very big reason, in my opinion, that Georgia was national champion last year. Specifically because I feel like she was really making sure they were winning the doubles point, even with them having a number 1 team in the nation with Vidmanova and Riasco. But she was getting third doubles done, and then she was one of the first off in singles, I'd say 70% of the time, which really helped that team get up to love a lot and put pressure on a lot of their opponents. So Drake Bernstein only in the head coaching role for a very short time and already holding up trophies that many coaches have worked 20 years to not be able to achieve. 1-3. First set. And there's that body blow on the forehand. And you can see now it's starting to pay dividends. Pushing Nietzsche a little bit left, and having her open up the footwork and have to go open stance. It's just going to be a prevailing theme here. I've definitely watched a lot of Mert matches in the major events. And she is great at establishing that and then working the inside out forehand the other way. It's tough. She almost caught that so late she could have missed it. Because it was a little late, inside out was a great choice. Because on the inside out forehand, just from a technical standpoint, you can contact the ball a little later and still be quite fine on that particular shot. One, 3, first set, 30-all. Overplayed it. And she's been really comfortable and settled the entire match. But now just because of the scoreboard and because Mert now, after a little bit of a shaky first game or so, Mert's really locked into her patterns and getting a combination of free points and the type of point she likes. You can see Nietzsche is just trying to do a little bit more. And that's getting her probably to miss serves now and have a higher unforced error count than her initial start in this match. Like her first game was about as textbook as you could ask, but now she's not been able to maintain it. Double break point from Mert. She moves over, cheating for a forehand. And that extra move draws the double fault. And now Nietzsche, who I thought had a great first 5 minutes of the match, the last 10 belonged to Asagol Mert. 4-1. Georgia Bulldog in the driver's seat in the first set and serving. And speaking of 4-1 leads, on our split screen, Genia Zozaya, freshman sensation from USC, from Avedo, Spain, up 4-1 herself. And both of these matches will probably have quicker tempos in terms of the length of the matches because Mushika really forces the tennis. She forces the play with aggression and coming forward in net appearances. And then Mert and Nietzsche just blast. And so the shot tolerance, in my opinion, is typically between 4 and 6. So these are not going to be the types of matches that will have a lot of double-digit extended rallies and points. Mushika felt that type of style when she beat Alexia Harmon yesterday. But I don't think that Zozaya will. She does have that patience, but she's looking to dictate with her forehand as well. And that ball is on the outside of the line. But like I said, Mushika really likes to set the table and then eat quickly. She'll hit a couple rolls or a couple of shots, and then she'll look to come forward. So far, the difference here has just been, I think, forehand to forehand. Zozaya has been far superior. Wow. On the run. Typically from that position, you're going cross court with some shape. Zozaya gets over there and crushes it line. Unexpected, but somewhat expected because she is capable. Has a lot of options on the running forehand. Now that's textbook Mushika there. Just not been able to negotiate that part of the court for herself so far a lot in this match, but we saw against an opponent like Harmon, who was a little bit more tentative and defensive, Mushika was able to create those lanes, those approaching opportunities. Just haven't had as many of that so far in this first set.
Which one of those was the one she just put in? Here. Thank you.
Uh-oh. Good athleticism to get up to the short ball, but then misses the mark on the volley. Deciding point. That's really good tennis. Great moving. Light on her feet, good balance. I just enjoy watching a player that has a lot of ball control and movement. Look at this east-west. Gets around quickly and then reads the movement and goes back behind. It's well done, especially at that moment, because it's such a huge difference between 4-2 and 5-1 from a scoreboard and psychological standpoint in a set. So Jeannie Zozaya Menendez in a dominant position here now. Talking to Coach Allison Swain, she was very high on this young lady. Top 100 ITF junior coming in. And sometimes those freshmen immediately make impact in college tennis. Sometimes it takes them a while to get acclimated and get used to college tennis because it's a lot different than ITF juniors. But quickly here in only her third tournament, she has proven Coach Allison and her recruiting and scouting correct. They have gotten a great gem of a tennis player in this young lady. Mert misses that forehand. So that was a disappointing look on Mert's face. It was because she ended up losing her serve there. So Mert gave one of the breaks back. She's up 2 breaks. So now Mert is receiving up 4-2. And there is the Mushika 1-2 combination. Wide and glide, slice, serve, and the deuce. Backhand on the run early, taking it wide. And Zozaya knows she's going to do it. I just think she needs to move up another step or two and cut the court off better. Missed that long. I think it's a tricky position coaching Shika right now because Stephanie Casano, I think, had a pretty clear-cut plan yesterday on staying committed to coming forward. But here, I think she made a mixture of staying back and coming forward and playing it the right way. And again, I know right way sounds generic, but in an organized fashion that doesn't allow Zozaya to dictate with her forehand. So meaning pulling her wide to the forehand or going heavy into the backhand to earn short balls. Right now it's just down 1-5. You need to find something that clicks and works. Odds against you being able to come back and win the set completely, but you want to start problem solving and getting good tactical input that you can start that second set very organized about what you need to do to come back and win. She missed that long as well. Just not as steady on the forehand side. So Zozaya puts the first set in the books. Now again, yesterday, down 5-2. What a comeback from Jeremy Jin playing against Emin Lobensel's, but not typical that a lot of 5-2 leads turn into the reverse scores in the other favor in collegiate tennis. Usually top players at this level find a way to close them out. Mert returning here, up 4-2. That goes long. Deciding point, second serve. Mert underplayed that return just to get it in. Left room and space for Chi to crack that backhand line. And so this set is much tighter now. 4-1 ahead for Mert, now 4-3 with Chi closing some of that gap. Mert now only up 1 break. It was 2. Now back over to court number 10. First game of the second set. Oh, so important one for Yoshika after losing her first set 6-1. Much more, in my opinion, of a big hitter than a feeler. She tried to play the drop shot, which I can't say was a bad play. She hit a great forehand and was inside the middle of the court, but it seems like her forte would be to clobber one more forehand and string together two big forehands. So Mert now in a dominant position. Just too good. Several times putting Mert in bad positions out there, and took her 3 or 4 of these big forehands to finally finish it, but really a great player, simple technique. And there again, she goes slightly backwards for the finishing volley. So she's at the net, and in terms of closing, you want to go towards the net, or at worst, hold your ground. Once you start falling backwards, you have to be a rather savvy and skilled volleyer to go in the wrong direction and still hit volleys to great locations. So that didn't work out well for her, but I can't say it's wrong for her to look to come forward. She's getting in some positions, but in that game there, the feel on the drop shot and the feel at the net and the positioning at the net let her down. So inside the court, inside the service box types of things need to keep improving to complement this formidable backcourt game she has. Okay, so she uses a little bit of a draw shot of her own and rips and gets Mert to miss. Unforced error long. Mert hanging in and trying to see if she can get a break and close out this set so she could start serving the next set. Great backhand. Able to get the best of that exchange, where typically Mert is earning time and opportunity with that lefty forehand to her opponent's backhand. Nichi is just a bit better there. And as you can see, rather important first game of the second set. Jeannie Zozaya is still dominating that match. And it does beg the question, with the NCAAs and qualifying for that being such a big carrot, such a significant reason why you get on the plane to come here, how you feel and how you get the motivation to get hungry and battle here and close out this tournament. be interesting to hear what the coaches feel about it this weekend, clearly between this tournament and the sectionals, and all of the actual final earned advancement bids for the NCAA championship. The ITA let me know that all the players that end up losing in the last round, the round before qualifying, are going to get put into a pool, and they will run an unofficial ranking that won't be published in addition to the ratings and wins over common opponents, and they will actually have an alternate list ordered in the event that someone that automatically qualified would not be able to play. Well played. Good hustle by Mert. Set point, deciding point, with a fair amount of momentum on the line here. And she stays alive. Mert with multiple set points and a little bit of vulnerability and not able to get over the finish line. Will that be enough for Nietzsche to turn the script in this first set? Stay tuned, sports fans. We will let you know soon. Back to Josiah and Mushika. Good discussion on that passing shot. Tied at 1-1 here. Just out. Still, so far, I think that's been a bit of a difference. So Zaya has been much sharper on the forehand side of the court in that matchup. Are you kidding me? What geometry? That's from 3 feet behind the baseline. What an angle on this backhand. Are you kidding me right now? Great footwork, great spacing, and rotated the right side so beautifully there. Excellent technique and execution at a critical time. 30 love. Great defense. And then a little sneak. Mert would like to have that passing shot back. You want to get that ball in play and make her play. That's helpful. Patented 1-2 combination. Reset points. And that return goes just wide. So let's go Mert. And breathe a short sigh of relief there. And a first set that had her up 4-1 and 5-3. Able to hold serve. Get one step closer to a final here at the ITA Conference Masters. Both matches at break. Just a beautiful facility. Barnes Tennis Center, the site of so many great tennis matches throughout the course of the year. Courts and all, plus pickle and padel. And they keep expanding every time I'm there. That's a tough one. Mushika loves to come in, but when the ball is low and wide like that, it doesn't give you the best approach angle, so she's not able to put enough on that ball. She did a good job of handling the shot, but so Zaya didn't have to move a lot, and we know how formidable her forehand is. She's able to take care of that pass. On serve here, 1-2. 15 all. And Mushika moves out a little wider like she typically does. I'm surprised people don't take the return early and just go into her backhand. Well, what I mean by going to her backhand is going down the line and making her run more steps. That she was able to get the ball right in the middle where she wants it, and she could redirect. So that is easier. I mean, to make her really go much farther to the left because she's opened up such an angle. I guess she's just daring the opponent off of the geometry of things. serve and volley, which we know is well within her menu of options. She throws a lot of different looks at her opponents. And Sheikah's just trying to do what she can do to hang around in this second set. And she sneaks in on that one too. But it's just sometimes she's opening up way too many angles to have to athletically cover. And as quick as she is, she's not 6'5". And there's only so much reach you can have in some of these scenarios. Most certainly one of the more comfortable and confident transition players I've watched in the women's college game. She's just up against a very highly and creative. Like Zozaya is okay with all this variation. She's rather creative herself and still has the solid footwork and the quality forehand base. And she's just neutralized and not allowed Sheikah to get comfortable with a lot of in her best sort of, I think, 1-2 combination. She's neutralized quite a bit of it. Oh, wow, that's just too good. And she's able to penetrate that backhand corner like she did, create a little bit of time and opportunity. And so big to the corner, now opportunity, and now she's so deep in the court, there's enough space for the drop shot. Well done. That goes just inches wide. You can't fault her for trying to hit the high heavy end of that space, but she's just at a point in the match now where she needs the execution. It just can't be good ideas anymore. She's running out of sand in the hourglass. 6-1-3-2 for Zozaya. Back over to Merton Chi. Mert up an early break here in the second set as well. It's serving 15-30. Quality backhands, and that's rather significant for this match, I think. How well Mert can absorb pace and move laterally when she's not in an offensive position in the point. And so far, she's been up to the task. Big serve out wide. She runs that big flat bomb to the forehand every now and then. She still works a lot more of the slice to the backhand, and then the big one into the body or wide is kind of the mix of the changeup. (40-30). Sales long. Mert has, I think, had several game points in a lot of these games where the very first game point that she has, she doesn't win it. And that's given Chi chances and opportunities. But somehow Mert has still been able to come away with the majority of the games. And here's another one. Deciding point, second serve after having a game point at 40-30. And look at that quality. Mert trying to mix and draw an error, but I don't think that she has a problem with that backhand or that slice. It was sitting up too high. And she gets one that she likes, and she leans on it, and boom! Mert with a chance to consolidate and go up 2-love and really make the right statement. And Ichi is hanging around. 6-4. 1-all now. And Ichi now is starting to have a little bit of a pep in her step. Down 4-1 and 5-3. She almost got it back in the first, and then now down a break here. She's drawn back even. In our other match, Jeannie Josiah is on a mission. She breaks again. And she's now serving 4-2 in the second. We'll take you back there. Drop shot combination. Well, as Brad Gilbert would say, this one so far has been one-way traffic. Jeannie, so Zaya. Just impressive from the start to current moment. Composed, most certainly looks mature beyond her freshman years. Great footwork. Very light on her feet, active, bouncing, getting in the best position to have the right spacing, to have the most amount of options, and then the execution. She is on a mission. Yeah, the forehand's just not been what it needs to be today. Has struggled to be able to move it around and hit the necessary locations and connect enough. It's just truly spectacular. We are witnessing a young lady growing up before our eyes. She was in a bad position and did the smartest thing you could possibly do, which is play that lob high over the backhand sides. Really didn't have leverage to hit a good pass, and she found the most uncomfortable shot she could come up with to not allow Mashika to finish that point. Yesterday against Harmon, Mashika was putting that ball away because she had something to put it away. I am super, super impressed. Again, Coach Swain, congratulations on the recruiting. Coach Pete Billingham, still not used to seeing you out of Pepperdine gear, but most certainly USC has picked up a great coach in you and Coach Ben Goldberg, who's been working this tournament magnificently with this young player. Just 3 times hats off to the USC staff, because this is a very good start to her freshman career. It's good overhead. Nice movement there. Nietzsche able to get her nose out in front, outside of the 1-love lead in the very beginning. It's the only other time she had some lead in either of the sets. That's not gonna cut it. Oh, Mao Mashika back against the wall. Let's see what she can come up with here. Down 2-5 in the second. Yeah, it's just been a difficult afternoon. Well, it's a difficult morning. It's afternoon here at Central in the East Coast, but in California, it's still morning. It's just been a tough morning. Qualified for NCAAs, but she has just come up against very confident, solid. It's just been one dominant performance from Zozaya, playing the type of tennis she likes to play, and at the same time neutralizing the type of tennis Mashika likes to play. Oh my gosh, only fitting. Mashika hit high, hard, wide, and then a drop shot. She gave everything she could possibly give outside of a net appearance to win that point. And look at the speed, look at the wheels, and on the dead run, the continental angle, no look winner to the net. Truly, truly an impressive performance by Eugenia Zaya Menendez. Gonna have to get used to pronouncing that name, folks, because her name is going to be in many of the deep parts of tournaments throughout her career, making a name for herself quickly, and most certainly impressed me in her run to the finals. And we will see who her opponent will be tomorrow. Asukal Mert, Ni Chi, still battling. First set to Mert, and now 2-all. That's well played. Settling in, finding that big forehand up the line, and Mert running to the changeover. I love it. Something Andre Agassi did a couple of times at key moments, and would send the message to his opponent that he was confident and dominant and looking to add closure to the match. And now, again, some of these great behaviors from the Pro Tour trickled down to all of the collegiate and junior players. That jog to the changeover with a dominant look with the towel. See that often now. And pardon the scoreboard, it's 6-4 for Mert, and then 3-2 for Mert here in this semifinal in the top half of the draw. Like I was mentioning before, Yoshika with a WTN of 13.09 and Zosiah with a 15.26. There's no way Zosiah is staying at a 15.26 after her run here, and potentially more damage that she'll do at the NCAAs. That's a great serve out wide. Just long. And on the men's side, Michael Zhang, last year's NCAA ball champion, came in as the #1 seed, having to play some professional tennis, so he wasn't able to play any All-Americans and some of the other lead-ups, and he qualified here as a 1 seed. And then Martin Baroshuk from NC State as a 4 seed, also qualifying and getting through. Edward Winter, #2 seed from Pepperdine, and we would have had a 1, 2, 3, 4. Emin van Loben-Sells thought that he was on pace yesterday, up 5-2 in the first, but there was Jeremy Jan, junior from Australia, that turned that tide, came back, and ended up winning that match. Seven, 6, 6-2, and punched his ticket. So those are 4 players in the NCAAs on the men's side, and all most deserving. She is starting to get a lot more comfortable here in this match and finding ways to win games, able to get that break. She's been able to get multiple breaks here from behind in the score. And that is super difficult to defend. Big 85-mile-an-hour forehand to the corner, followed by a big 86-mile-an-hour forehand to the corner. If you don't split step just on time and maybe even jump in an Uber, you can't get that ball. He's hitting some great spots. Now it's a difficult forehand to defend against. She gets time and opportunity to come forward. It's not that it's just a big shot. She has a very high percentage of balls that are just clean winners from those positions. Many folks will say a seventh game is a crucial one in a set. I can go back and forth on that. But it feels like this particular seventh game is a very important one. This has happened on too many occasions now. Mert should be motivated to keep hustling and fighting back there because she's been fortunate to make Nietzsche volley a few times and win those points on the defense. A little cat and mouse with both players trying to draw one another and not look to finish themselves. And it's Mert missing wide on the lob. Nietzsche. Wants to make this one a fight. Mert now, after being up a set and 3-2, has to be very locked in and focused on this service game. We'll see how significant that seventh game ends up becoming. Again, all these players competing today have already qualified. We'll show you the graphic here in a second of all the different tournaments and ways to get in. But the All-American was the first step of it. And then the second step was the ITA Regionals. And now we have this ITA Conference Masters and the Sectionals. And in the Sectionals, the doubles will have an actual 3-4 match. So the players that lose in the semis of doubles are still not officially qualified. They have to play a 3-4 match to then determine who punches that last ticket in the doubles. And a lot of that is going on today and tomorrow across the country. Well, that first serve, most certainly, it's a shot in the arm for Asko Mert, who has been ahead the vast majority of this tennis match, but still finds herself in a tussle. If you haven't really watched Mert play live, I watched it carefully at NCAAs as well as indoors, and I tell you, when she unloads on that forehand and really crushes it, it is moving, and it's also like staying low and skidding. It's just a difficult shot to deal with. What's impressed me so much is she's emotionally pretty even, and I feel that she's done a nice job here having to run out of the corners and play some defense because of the onslaught of power of Nietzsche's forehand. Great job. So important for Nietzsche to put away some of these balls. She's had some miscues in the service box that could have possibly turned this match into a considerably different score, but she's an outstanding offensive places by virtue of her shots and has to connect the dots and be willing to come forward. 40-15. Bad dropper. Yeah, that dropper did not do anything. It was almost like a short hand feed for a put away. And I don't think that Mert is much of a feeler. She's executing some of these slices and mixing it in, but I don't think it's her forte. With Nietzsche missing some balls out of the air at the net, I get it. She realizes that she's had some success playing passing shots, but throw caution to the wind on how many drop shots she should employ. Yeah, a big serve out wide was called. Okay, so was that? Okay, so she didn't like the call. She thought she had an ace. Ball was called wide. Official on the court says wide. Second serve. Now this becomes really a big deal because emotionally Mert thought she had already earned the game. And then she had to play the point, and now she's lost the point, and instead of being at 4-all, she runs the risk of being down 5-3 and losing control of the scoreboard in this second set. So this is a very big moment. She has to let that call go, compose herself, and put together a good serve plus one combo. Goes for the big one out wide, misses it badly, and now having to move that ball gives her a lot of time to think. Let's see how she handles the second serve, and let's see what Nietzsche does. Is she aggressive or safe on the return? She doubled. Yeah, I don't like to be the booth jinx, but I could feel it. I could feel how she wanted that ace at 3-4, 40-30. Did not get the call. Ref agreed. And now Nietzsche, one game away from a split. Oh, wow, what a reversal of fortune. Nietzsche has had a bunch of net appearances that didn't go her way, and now Mert there in winning position to finish 2 or 3 shots at it, can't get it done. The point resets and she loses it. So this has been a tough 5 minutes here for the junior from Turkey. That's a big forehand. That's a big one. Winner up the line. There's a fair amount of risk going for that, but she threaded the needle. That's a patented inside out. She loves that shot. Big shots to big targets. Crucial moments here at 30-all. It's tough. It's had several instances where she's been able to get some great quality on her backhand from deep in the court. Not from inside the court, but considerably 2 to 4 feet behind the baseline. All cross court though. And Mert holds on to get a hold and put the pressure back on Nietzsche's hands. And is she able to settle herself? And here's a look at the draw. Mert over Charlotte Agarwal. 3 and 5 to get here. Nietzsche upsetting the 3 seed. The transfer from Texas, Vivian Ovrutsky, 6'4", 7'5". Jeannie's Josiah Mendez, again over Marina Skagro and Mushika. So what a dominating performance by the freshman here in the final. And Mushika again was over Alexia Harmon from Pepperdine in a topsy-turvy second set that was full of service breaks. 9 service breaks and only 1 hold. So there you have it. No 3-setters. So we have a question here. Can Nietzsche break the trend? Or does Mert come back and close it? Point on the serve. Double fault. That's a great return. Goes wide. I think Nietzsche was waiting on it. Mert going to the well on that lefty serve out wide. She was there to cut that off. That's well played. After she hits that big forehand to the target, she's quick with the steps to move up, recognize, and then capitalize on the short ball, taking it at the top of the bounce and being able to put it away and not give her opponent recovery time. Great recognition. And Mert's doing just enough to hold that position on the baseline, move the ball around, got just enough depth on the backhand there. That was a strong performance, in my opinion, after being down. So often you see players lose that game to go down 5-3, and they don't respond and bounce back in the manner that she did. They use the excuse that the ref cheated them, and they end up finding themselves in a third set someplace. So far, big shout out to the mental game of Mert and some resilience and reactions to setbacks here. She's fought her way back to 5-all, and now I'm putting the pressure back on Nietzsche. Definitely gave her a couple of opportunities to close at the net. Wasn't able to do it, but with Nietzsche retreating, Mert misses the forehand up the line. I think she'd like to have that one back. It's 2 forehands in a row. And for the first time, a little bit of disgust. Not happy with herself. Definitely some opportunity to keep the momentum from 5-3 to 5-all going in this game as well, and just not sharp on her weapon. 30-15. Can't say that was a good mistake by Chi there, overplaying the forehand and donating a point back at a time when she didn't need to. And that has been the story of this match. Huge forehand, creating opportunities inside the service box, and not being able to seal the deal. These net appearances have been the right shots to try, but the execution and the fact that it sends a message to your opponent, hey, I can be in the worst position, just give her another ball, you might win. That is just enormous in a match that's this close. It. And Mert goes for a down the line clean winner at that time. And why would you do that? You don't need that there. Oh wow, the pressure is getting to both of these players at this stage, because they are both making some misses and choices that could come back to haunt them. Oh, there's the one she loves. Big target return, quick little steps, and a snappy doodah back to that same spot. Big on the return, recognize the short ball, take it early, and hit it, force, and follow. That's textbook 1-2 return aggression. So, Asagal Mert, one game away. Will she be able to serve this one out and move on into the finals? On the men's side, yeah, I gotta admit I was a little worried about this. Michael Zhang, obviously NCAA champion last year, chooses obviously to withdraw with an injury, and then Edward Winters, and then Martin Barosek. So these guys qualified, and then unfortunately we no longer have any more matches on this side. It was a great tournament before that, and yeah, I think the ITA will have to think about this in the future if they want to make this tournament only 3 spots, to make these guys have to play the semis and the 3-4 and play it all the way out. That's a thought relative to what they might want to do with the spots. But the women have chosen to play, and we are thankful, and we are loving it and enjoying it and having a great time here. And Asagal Mert has a chance to seal the deal and close the door here, or we go into a tiebreaker. Wow. What on earth? Mert moves up and keeps the court small, and then split steps late, not able to cover that inside out forehand. Whew. Love 15. Wow, that is a big time forehand. After losing that point the way she did, to have the courage to step up and trust her weapon and go big target forehand there. That's Yannick Sinner 101. That is Anisimova, Sabalenka. That's what the tops of professional tennis, that's what they do in those moments. They go big shot, big target. Trust their game and keep the acceleration up. 15-all. There's some serious heat. Serious heat coming behind that forehand. $15-30. And she gets that call. Ace out wide at just absolute must point time. $30-all. Are you kidding me? 2 in a row? What a time for that. 30 lefty cutter down the tee with a bunch of width on it. Whew, what a great serve. Match point Bulldogs. Game, set, match. What a momentum shift at the end. Ace, ace, forehand winner. Weapon, weapon, weapon. Woo-wee. That is going to set the stage for one heck of a blockbuster final. Osegal Mert 6-4-7-5 over the finish line. Shout out to her and Coach Drake Bernstein. They're coaching her to get her through those moments because that was not an easy second set, with opportunities to be up 6-4, 3-2, and then down 5-3, and then to turn that back 7-5. What an outstanding effort by this junior from Turkey. She put on a show there. Her coach must be proud. Obviously, winning at Georgia is now a thing of expectation. That's what they assume they're going to do at Georgia, but still, to go out there and put the ball in the court at the moment is what you have to do as part of your job as a student athlete, and boy, does she come through. Hats off to Nietzsche. Best of luck to her at the NCAAs because she is dangerous. That forehand is formidable, and she just needs to practice a few out of the airs, take care of some of the stuff that she wasn't able to finish here in this one. But Mert moves on. We have a great final tomorrow. We're happy to have a final tomorrow. As you can see in the draw, Osegal Mert, number 1, versus Eugenia Zozaya Menendez, number 8. And we don't have a men's final, but we're certainly excited to have this one and to close down this draw. You've been watching the 2025 ITA Conference Masters. Coach Mark Bey signing off. Thank you to myself, Daddy Westoff, Zach, Cody, the whole crew. It's been fun. Been excited to be here and cover part of this new and exciting format and tournament here that's running concurrently with the sectional championships that are going to obviously punch the last tickets to the NCAA. So by tomorrow night, we will know the full fields of all the draws going into the November 18 to 23 National Individual Championships at Lake Nona's campus. So again, thank you for watching. There's going to be some doubles this afternoon. Tune in for that. For now, goodbye. Take care. All the best.
Your 2025 ITA All-American champion, Valerie Glosman. So impressed by the Stanford sophomore.
Such a great week. Best player in college tennis. Good job. So proud of you. Thank you. So proud of you. And always, under the integrity of the swing, the way you're at position, you're just at a different level. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Thanks for making an easy day on me.
Congratulations to both of you guys on a really great tournament and a really well-played match here. From Stanford, Valerie Glosman.
Well done.
Valerie, do you want to share a few words about your experience this week?
I'm really experienced out here in Gary. I'm so happy for the outcome of this supported. All these ball kids, physios, officials, tournament directors. Sorry if I'm missing anyone, but also Coach Frankie, thanks for being on here for like 12 hours a day, every day. And shout out to my teammates who are now back on campus. Everyone was so supportive. Shout out to my family back home. Thank you for always supporting me as well. And a great match to you, Carmen, everyone else in this tournament, but you fought super hard. And we're really hard for that, so thank you. And thanks for pushing me to be a better player.
Hi coaches, Dave Mullins here, ITA CEO and President. I hope you had a lovely summer and preparations for the college season ahead are going well. I know you have a lot on your plate and your minds as you're trying to navigate all the uncertainties of